put it in a Rasta life. All we have is genuine faith that leads us to Zion gate. I love righteousness, where Selassie rests his head. Humble children bawling out, oh what a battery. You know Sheila, big up yourself, King Selassie, I bless it from here to your toe. Sheila Ryan, big up yourself, King Selassie, I bless it. We have the Asian current, we have the roots and culture. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Niger, the organizer, Sheila Ryan, forward.
Bless up, everyone, and welcome to Ancient Current, Rastafari Roots and Culture. I have with me today Vaga Vybz, hailing from Rwanda, now residing in Ethiopia, 2022 African Artist of the Year. His music is militant, churchical, with just the right amount of lovers rock. So welcome, Vaga Vybz, to Ancient Current.
I give thanks for the invitation. It's a big blessing to be here today.
Cool, give thanks. Let's start out with your newest release. I think that's Jazz My World, is that right?
Yes.
All right, so to have Jah as your world, what does that mean to you?
It means everything. It means everything. I mean, how can I explain this? Jah is my world. Everything is my love, is just like the song says. It's just a simple song which just explains how much Jah means to me, or how much this world means to me, this world being Jah.
And how do you tap into that frequency?
Well, it's more of a self-realization. It's not even a hard frequency to tap into, because each one of us has been blessed with this in the image of Jah that he has created us in, which is the spirit. So every time you just look within, listen to the inner voice, it's always there. It's always there. You just need to listen and tap in, like you say.
The video has an emphasis on the mystical. And do you want to explain or elaborate that, just that aspect of it?
The song itself is a collaboration between Lavosti from Kenya and Isaiah Shaka from France. When we're reasoning about all this, Jah being our everything, everyone has a different way they see Jah. They have a different way they acknowledge the power of the Most High. So for us, some of us can see Jah in one thing, and the other does not see Jah in that, and they see Jah in a different perspective. So for us, it was important to show that where I see may not be exactly where you see the power of the Most High, or where you see may not be the same place, but at the end of it all, we all see the power of the Most High. We all get to see this mystic power. Yeah, so that was the whole mystic part of it.
Blessed. Your song Awakening, you say, don't be a victim of the system. What ways can people avoid falling into that?
Like we said, it's more of self-realization, self-awakening. Like the song says, it's awakening, trying to wake the people up out of this slumber that people have been growing into instead of growing out of. So for me, it was really important to mention a few ways people can get out of this. Raising your frequency, the more knowledge you get, basically, it's even just love. Love itself can be one of the ways you break out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
The system does not want us to share the love with the next person. They want a selfish interest, a personal interest or something like that. But when you have love, is one of the biggest ways you can always break out of the system, because it will always reflect onto the next person.
Beautiful. We've recently just had coronation of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen. Can you explain that a little bit, please?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I just come back from Tanzania, and when I got here, it was a beautiful celebration. A couple of shows in different parts of Addis Ababa. It was amazing to see people at this time celebrating, and the legend is alive. You feel the power of the king. You feel the power still moving through generations and generations. Because right now, the people that you would find on these events are young people, and to see all these young people celebrate His Majesty and the coronation of His Majesty and Empress Menen at the same time, they all embrace the power and the teachings of His Majesty, which shows you that it's still alive. It's still alive. Rastafari is alive and well. So
Yes.
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's really beautiful to see all this energy, teachings rooting from the elders going into the young ones celebrating those teachings and living them as well. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. Give time.
Yes, good, thanks. Can you talk about the significance of the crowning of the king and the queen at the same time?
Wow. That's amazing, because I think it's the only place in the world where such an event happened, where king and queen is crowned same time. For me, it's proof of divine power. It's proof of divine power. So because so is above, same as below. I mean, we have this law of polarity, and we just can't ignore it. And we believe in that balance. Divine balance has to be there. And when the king is crowned, the queen has to be crowned same time.
Really?
And that's a beautiful element to really observe and acknowledge, because in this world, the system has set a whole mentality and philosophy whereby a woman maybe is oppressed, or a man is higher than a woman, or even in the other way around. Sometimes they try to show that there's no balance. There's no balance, and nature has to be balanced. Nature has to be balanced from the nature part of it to the spirituality part of it. Balance has to be there, and this is a blessing to see the king and queen crowned same time. It just disapproves everything that the system stands for.
Yeah, divine balance. And I feel like that's one of my missions, is to highlight Empress Menen, to highlight and to emphasize that balance, because I think it can easily be looked at as coronation, that, Haile Selassie, but not acknowledge Empress Menen and the Queen and that divine, beautiful, one perfect love balance that's there with her at the throne beside him. So yeah, give thanks. So can you share a little bit about, a little more, you've talked a bit about coronation, but elaborate a little bit. What's it like in Ethiopia? And is there Nyabingis happening? Like, here we are, I'm in the States, but we have the Caribbean not too far, but then you're at the source in Ethiopia. So I'm curious, like, the vibration of that.
The vibration is powerful. Actually, it's all mansions of Rastafari celebrated massively, I would say. When you go to the Nyabingi mansion, you find them gathered and chanting and praying and celebrating. And the same thing happening with the Bobo Shanti Mansion and 12 tribes, as well as the EWF, the Ethiopian World Federation. So you find it's a big celebration going on all different parts of Ethiopia, because some of these mansions are even down in Shashamani, not in Addis Ababa. So it's a whole big energy just spreading out of throughout the country. It's just amazing.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. In general, how do you think people in Ethiopia view Haile Selassie, like currently?
Currently, I think not even currently. It's from long time. It's been fundamental to what Ethiopia stands for even right now. Because we shall look. I'll just give an example of the constitution the government of Ethiopia follows is from that time of His Majesty. So when you look at things like that, the palace, the university, which he just turned his house into a place where people can learn and get more knowledge, and like we say, awakening is important. So he's still fundamental in so many ways, because right now they're even building highways and naming them after him. So he's still so fundamental in the lives of people in Ethiopia and lives of Africans, I would say, because even the presence of the African Union is because of His Majesty. So give thanks.
Yes, I bless him. So now that you're closer to the source, living in Ethiopia, how has the energy of Haile Selassie amplified you and your works?
I mean, you can't touch the land of His Majesty or stay in the dwellings of where he used to be and not really get impacted in one way or the other, because there's so many teachings from the neighboring people. You hear stories of him, long time stories. And then when you go to museums, then you go to palaces and there's some like hot springs of His Majesty. There's so many things that are so mystic at the same time. I would say a living history. Because you still feel the presence of His Majesty as you go through all these things, as you go to visit the museum where he used to sleep, the bedroom, all this, the throne. I got a blessing of shooting one of my videos in front of his throne. So in the National Museum, it was a collabo with a brethren of mine from Italy called Rastewelde. So entitled Sign and Seal. So it has impacted life really powerfully. I mean, when you get such a blessing of doing a video in front of the throne of His Majesty, whereby actually no video is being done in front of that throne, it's just a blessing.
Yeah, heights. Wow. Can you talk about Lalabella a little bit and the vibes there, or what Lalabella is?
Lalibela itself, I wouldn't have much to say about it, because currently I've not been. It's been a long time since the visitings have. Okay, people now they say it's open to go back and visit, but for a while it's been closed because of the insecurity and ongoing insurgents. But
okay.
yeah, we just everything opens up again, and when we go there, we'll be able to share the stories.
Sounds good. You have a song. I don't know if it's called Your Life. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the actual title of it. But so in your song, you say, put away your guns, but yet in other songs, you speak about being on the front lines. So what is this war we are fighting?
Yeah, like I said, the war we are fighting is a spiritual warfare. It's not a physical warfare. That's why I say put away the guns. We need light. We need foresight. So when I talk about putting away the guns and pulling out the lights, that means it's a different type of warfare we're fighting right now. Because I'll tell you one thing, when you see a seed planted, and when a seed grows out of the ground, the shells or the husk of the seed will just remain in the ground. So our bodies are just that shell. What we need to take care is what will come out of the ground, and that's the spirit. It's not the body that will remain in the ground. Because at the end of the day, we know all of us have a day that we shall move to the next dimension. The body has to remain in the ground, but what will get out of the body is the spirit, and that's what we have to fight for right now. It's not the guns that we need. We don't need no more guns. I mean, that the time is gone. We don't need no more guns. We don't need no more bloodshed. What we need is the light, the insight, the information. So we're on the front line of awakening people with information, with love, sending out the same vibrations of love in music and healing. So for us, we're going to be on the positive side of the fight.
Yes, I give thanks. How can reggae music help with that?
I mean, reggae music itself, I'll tell you one thing that other people have not really paid much attention to. When it comes to reggae music, we call it one drop. Because it has the kick goes with the heartbeat. It goes doop, doop, doop. That means you're literally breathing and vibrating at the same frequency with the music. Your heartbeat is pounding at the same time with the music.
Yeah, man.
That is the first way it's going to impact you, because already it's in line with your heartbeat. And then when we send out other vibrations which come in with the melodies and all this, then all your nerves and everything is touched. Yeah, it's music for the soul.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
When did you start music?
Well, I don't know when I started music, but I know when I started commercial music, because music has been part of my life since I was a little child. Growing up, I was into brass bands, moving around the city, playing these instruments, trumpets, and all this. Then after that, I went into traditional troops where you do traditional dances, because in Africa we have so many traditional dances. So I went into traditional troops. After traditional troops, I went into a church choir. After a church choir, that's when I went into a music band. And then from a music band, I broke off to do my solo career. And that was 2006. Then 2009 is when I took it up as a career, as a serious business.
Okay. And at what point in that journey, was it around that 2009, the time when you took it on more seriously? What point did Rastafari really come into play for you? Ever since? Or, like you're saying, you sang in a church choir, all these things. Was Rastafari always a part of your life, or did you come to know it later?
We always think that we got to know it later, but something has always been a part of you from just because you've not yet flowered. Giving an example of a plant that has not yet flowered, so you may think that maybe the flower is not there, but until the flower comes and you're, oh, it's a yellow flower. Oh, so some of us, I think Rastafari has always been part of me, but it was just I needed more self-realization to awaken what is inside of me and follow that path. But I'm the first generation Rasta in my family, so I wouldn't say it's something that I learned from home or no, I'm the first generation Rasta in my family. And that came around 2006 when I was in the band. When I was in the band, yeah, I got to meet a couple of other Rasta brethren and sisters, and yeah, they just ignited the fire in me, and it was quick. It was quick.
Light it up.
Yeah.
So you've touched on a lot of these points, but in a nutshell, what is Rastafari to you?
It's a way of life for me. It's a way of life. Yeah. It's a compass.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a compass for me in this journey of life.
Good, thanks. You have a song that talks about I'm not exactly sure the lyrics or the name, but something about single parents love more or something along those lines.
If mama had to leave and papa had to stay, if papa had to leave and mama had to stay, children never have anything to say about the situation one parent again. One parent not ready to take care of them. Whoa, that one is a very emotional one. I give thanks to have both parents at this time. I've been in a society where friends have had to raise kids on their own. I've had friends who have had to be raised by single parents, and all this experience for me was heavy until I had to put out a song like this, because most times we always put out songs for mama and papa and this, but we never really pay attention to those single parents. And for me, this meant a lot, that to appreciate what they do as much as it's one-sided.
I think there's a beautiful point there with what a single parent will do, like the amount of love given, including everything else, but like the depths of the love that one has to reach down into in that position. I can see it from a lot of different angles, and that song just spoke,
because when it's a single parent, they're always trying to play both parts. So it's really amazing how much effort, energy, power they try to give to the child. And like the song says, she will do anything for you, he'll do anything for you. A single parent will do anything as your papa and mama at the same time. So when they're both parents, okay, one parent will be like, I'll play my part, she'll play her part, or he'll play her part. But when it's a single parent, most times they feel the need to play even the other missing part, and that's you can't match that.
We give thanks. What do you have coming up? What are your next works?
Oh, I have a couple of works coming up. I have a song called Prayer, featuring Junior Toots, son of Ras Toots, and Culture Knox, both of them from Jamaica. So the song entitled Prayer. So I think that will be one of my next release. And the other is the video of Mama Africa. We'll be also dropping. Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Nice. And how about touring? Do you have?
Yeah, December is always busy, so we already have some shows booked out, and I'm most likely to stay in. Yeah, because December is, but when after December, then we're looking into next year. We're looking into a Europe tour, and then and a couple of others. But at least we know by summer we have a Europe tour.
Nice. And have you made it to the States before?
Not yet.
All right. Well, maybe we can see that sometime in the distant future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've done Europe a lot of times, and now maybe it's time we move to the States and Canada. But I would love also to do Asia, places like Japan, and because we're already talking to people there, and it's really amazing the feedback they're giving to the music.
Good. Is there anything else you want to share?
Just love. Just love.
That's great.
just want to let everyone know that there's nothing that we really have to do much as a purpose of us living on this planet. It's known so far different from just loving one another's. We love ourselves, and that's it. That's it. The rest are just things that we got our emotions connected to and feel that we need to fulfill, and this and lessons to learn while we're still here. But the biggest of them all is just to love one another, and that's the biggest.
Beautiful. Give thanks. To all of you listeners, we've been tuned into Vaga Vybz, straight out of Ethiopia, coming at us with dancehall reggae music. Thank you, Vaga Vybz, for taking this time today, and I look forward to helping amplify and spreading your music to the world. Blessed and respect.
Thanks for the invitation. It was really nice. Looking forward to sharing more music and sharing more love, like I said, and awakening and healing.
Yes, I. Good, thanks. Selassie.
Yes.